I heard this last week, such a powerful idea that I want to share with you. An idea about what Lag BaOmer is all about and how we deal with and confront some of life's greatest challenges. I heard this in a talk from our rabbi of our community in Yad Binyamin, Rabbi Hillel Merzbach. It made such a deep impact on me and I want to share it with you. After all, said Rabbi Merzbach, he quoted the Pri Chadash, the great latter-day commentator Rabbi Akiva de Silva, one of the great rabbis of Israel in the 17th century. And he asks as follows about Lag BaOmer. He says, why is it that we celebrate this day Lag BaOmer? What is the reason of our celebration? He mentions the Shulchan Aruch, which quotes the Gemara as we know in Yevamot 62, that this was the day or during this period that the students of Rabbi Akiva, the 24,000 students, each and every one died. They stopped dying on this day. And hence, according to many customs on Lag BaOmer, we end with the laws of mourning and the customs of mourning. Says Rabbi de Silva, really? The reason they stopped dying is because every last one of them died. Is that a reason to celebrate? Everybody was dead. There were no more students left to die. And this is what we celebrate. What's this all about? And he says perhaps he wants to suggest an amazing thing. He says the continuation of that Gemara says that same Rabbi Akiva, after the death of all of his students, went down to the south, found more students. He found 5 great students, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and others, and through them rebuilt the whole Torah world. This is the simcha. The fact that Rabbi Akiva had every reason to be totally despondent, into the depths of despair and darkness, and say, what a failure I am. This is the same Rabbi Akiva who himself was a Baal Tshuva, who grew up not as a Talmid Chacham, became a Talmid Chacham, taught 24,000 students. He was the great believer in Ahavat Yisrael, V'ahavta Recha Kamocha, the great principle. And each one of his students died, as the Talmud says, because they didn't respect each other, that they lacked this Ahavat Yisrael. He could have thought, what a failure I am. Maybe I should leave the rabbinate. Maybe I should do something else. Every last student of mine died, perhaps because of a spiritual impediment. But he picked himself up in the depths of despair. He went down south. He went to a new place, found 5 new students, and the entire Torah Sheba'al Peh, Rabbi Meir, who wrote the Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rabbi Yehuda, barely a page that we don't have these rabbis in all of Mishnah and Talmud, and he rebuilt Jewish life and the Torah world. What a powerful lesson. You know, I saw a book by John C. Maxwell, a leadership thinker, which he calls Failing Forward. And he says, a line that I'll never forget, the difference between great people and average people is their attitude to and the response to failure. How do we fail? Can we pick ourselves up? Can from the depths of despair we take the light of hope? And we know that it says in Mishlei, Sheva Yipol Tzaddik becomes 7 times that Tzaddik falls, but what makes the person a Tzaddik? He or she picks themselves up and keeps going. That was the great Rabbi Akiva. And from the depths of despair, of darkness and death, came the light of Lag BaOmer, the light of hope, the light of a better future. And through that, the whole Torah world was rebuilt. And we are here today celebrating, commemorating the ongoing light of Torah, the light of hope, what the Jewish people and Jewish life is all about. Lag BaOmer Sameach, Shabbat Shalom.